Lois, and today I'm going to inform you about the way people use social networking for relationships and their well-being. Social networking is used all around the world, allowing people to communicate with each other. These network websites have had a profound impact on all of us. Some researchers warn us that social networking sites can lead to negative social costs. I will expound on social quarantine, relationships on social networking sites, and people becoming addicted to these sites. Did you know there are more than 1 billion Facebook users in the world? Could you imagine the amount of people that use other social networking sites? Well, I could. Think about how many people you are around daily that are constantly checking their news feeds. Do you have a cell phone? How often do you use your phone? According to Pew Research Center, they have stated that 75% of American smartphone users are on social media, at least once a week. Many people don't realize how often they depend on their phones. And according to a Pew Research study in 2014, they concluded that 46% of cell phone users could not live without their phones. Could you imagine what that statistic is like now? Today I will be informing you about the negative effects social media has brought upon us. These so-called wonderful sites have created many socially negative consequences. We'll begin by examining social isolation. There has been an increase in the amount of young internet users in the past few years, most of which are using social networks. This is concerning many parents, schools, and policymakers. According to researchers Berman and Shields, by the age of about 7 years, a child's interaction with family, peers, school, community networks, and media all play a giant role in the development of interpersonal skills and social competence. Computers are now part of a child's life. Children with computers in their rooms and have internet access may use computers in social isolation. Princeton researchers did a study with a group of 93 families. While their teenagers had access to the internet, they found that teenagers spent more time online and had a greater decline in involvement and increases in their feelings of loneliness and depression. Many people are also concerned that computers can replace the child-to-child and teacher-to-child relationships. This is a visual aid of who's online. Their ages, teenagers from 12 to 17, 93% of them are online. Young adults, 18 to 29, are also 93% online. And adults, 30 to 49, also have an 81% of being on the internet. And adults, ages 50 to 64, have a 70% chance of being online. And adults that are 65 and older have a 38% chance of being online. Next, we'll explore the different types of social network relationships. There are two types of relationships on social networking sites. They are both classified as parasocial and reciprocal relationships. These relationships are both very unhealthy. A parasocial relationship is a social networking site friendship, with celebrities holding imaginary, unliteral relationships added by fantasy. Because the performer is not aware of the audience and the reactions that are affected, according to Horton, an audience would form the illusion of a face-to-face relationship, within which may be added by fantasy. Because the performer is not aware of the audience and their reactions, parasocial relationships also show symptoms of poor psychological well-being such as loneliness, alienation, or life dissatisfaction. The next relationship is a reciprocal relationship. This is an active interaction with social networking friends. This means users are more attentive on the given networking sites. and users might be afraid that social media absence might hurt the ongoing relationships. Both of these relationships are clearly unhealthy, and we need to stop relying on social media to create relationships. I believe most relationships should be face-to-face. Lastly, we'll look at addiction to social networking. Only few studies are shown on addiction to social media because it's becoming more and more popular year by year. Being addicted to these sites can cause psychological distress, which is predicted to the addictive use. Have you ever been out to eat with your family, and from across the room you saw a child's eyes glued to his or her tablet? Sadly, many people can say yes. If a child is constantly depending on a tablet, could you imagine what kind of technology they'll be depending on in the future? According to a study by Mueller, they took 9,173 adolescents that are 12 to 19 years of age. All the children were enrolled, assessed by self-report questionnaires. Most adolescents that were addicted to these sites dealt with psychological distress. The study was mostly associated with gender specifics. The addiction was brought into their lives when it regarded preoccupation, and they began to lose control and constantly check the internet. Mueller's study displayed that 4.1% of boys and 3.6% of girls suffer from internet addiction. In the future, this addiction could eventually be considered another form of online behavior. To sum it all up, as one can see, people, and more specific children and teens, use social networking for relationships and their well-being. But is it okay? I believe it's not okay, and I hope you will spread awareness that social networking can cause social quarantine, relationships on social networking sites, and people becoming addicted to these sites. Many adults are worrying about their children because their children are displaying their personal information, and it is weakening a child's real-world face-to-face conversations. There is a possibility that this could threaten a child's health. We need to help. Thank you.